behind that is in any nation, in any country, if the middle class is very strong, then the gap between the rich and the poor lessens or becomes smaller.
And that's what we want to encourage here.
That's what we want to encourage. So we started the PB Network group, the Philippine Bloggers Network group, is going to start a campaign which we call SME Sabado. So we want to feature small and medium-sized enterprises or small business owners every Saturday in our blogs.
Great.
To push other people to realize that you can start your own small business and eventually maybe grow it.
Yeah, and it's good because just before I took the cab that I took here, actually, what do you call that? The only since I sat down there, the only thing that he talked about was his situation, and it was such a parang ang hirap-hirap ng buhay niya. He's going to be kicked out, and I said of his house and all that. Tapos parang for 1 month he didn't have work because there was no cab to drive and all. So parang I said, why don't you just join this? Why don't you? But he wasn't really listening. And we hear last year that was also his situation, and the year before that. But we like to what do you call that? Bathe ourselves in the same cycle or pattern, negative cycle and negative pattern year in, year out. And and the only way to also be a contributing citizen, like you, PBN and the Wapinas, and our shows, is to continue to campaign that they can actually change yung landas ng buhay nila, their destiny, right? So the 2014 predictions, Raffy, let me just give them an intro. It's every year, every start of the year, people actually look for what's going to happen. They check their horoscopes, their feng shui, their Chinese zodiac signs, and all kinds of oracles become popular towards the end of this year. And everybody just wants to know, even what's going to happen for me or for us this year, and or what's in store for all of us this coming 2014 or every year thereafter. So it's always about knowing what other possibilities would be, and it is actually our normal nature and our tendency to want certainty, to make sure that that only the good things can happen to us. We don't like to have bad or unwelcome surprises. As much as possible, we want to stay in charge, or we want to make sure that the things or the events that can happen to us will also complement the directions of our lives. So we naturally. In other words, we naturally prefer a life of endless happiness and success and prosperity and love and even longevity. So our forecast so today there's going to be like 5 generic forecasts, and this will be so Raffy, let me just roll this out. The first forecast for the year, okay? So predictions mean it can happen or it cannot happen. And don't take this seriously, but this is actually a pattern that we can actually, if we look at the last 5 years of our lives as a Filipino and the circumstances that have hit the Philippines in the last 5 years, these are just things that you will notice have been repeating occurrences. So it's not rocket science. It's supposed to be fun. What's more important here is you guys look into the message of what it can actually, how we can actually prepare ourselves for it. So, okay, forecast number 1, I'm very sure, Raffy, that there's going to be, not very sure, well, as far as 5, that's going to be natural calamity. So it's going to happen again sometime during the rainy season, like Ondoy, what else? Like, so, it can wreak havoc on us, on our family and our finances, and it can disrupt our lives. So the effect can linger for indefinite periods of time, and so if that, Raffy, knowing that it's going to happen to you, to us, to the Philippines again this year, what's what would what were your lessons from, like, example, Yolanda? What were your from Yolanda last year, from the lessons from the Ondoy and the typhoons? Remember, you were very active also in
Ondoy.
in raising funds, diba? And just so, ikaw, what were your lessons also, that if this year is there's again going to be a natural calamity or disaster, what lessons will you take from the previous years that our listeners and our viewers can also think about and ponder?
Well, for me, what happened to Yolanda, there's two things that I would have learned from it. One is that not everybody was informed about how strong it was. The information about that, what do you call that? That horizontal gush of rain and wind. I forgot your term.
Let's ask the PBN.
Right. But that was something very new, but it has happened to us several times already. Okay, so one is the information dissemination to the townsfolk or the people living that are going to be hit hard by the typhoon. There was little information dissemination, meaning that, it was done through radio, but nobody was listening to the radio during the time. It was done through TV, but nobody was watching. So the impact of how hard that storm was did not occur on the minds of the people in the regions being hit. Right? That's one. Second is, I know many Filipinos don't believe in it, but I think you should start thinking about it. It's insuring your assets, your house, your car, your belongings, and so on and so forth. Even your life.
Well, incidentally, you mentioned that. These are the things that I actually outlined also. What you can do should that happen. One, you have to secure your family and yourself. Diba?
Right.
You have to secure your home. You have to secure your employment as much as possible. Have one that's already in place. Secure your finances. Secure your savings. Release yourself from debt. Because if you have debt and then a calamity comes in also, that's going to be very hard. So as much as possible, slowly work towards a life where you can just really concentrate on not being not finding yourself in situation in disasters, in the middle of disasters.
Right.
So what else? So very true. I agree. Secure what you can secure now, and your finances number one, because when the Tacloban thing, when the Yolanda thing happened, the first thing that these people needed were resources, diba?
Right.
Because the resources can actually give them the shelter that they will need. It will give them the food that they will need. The food and the sustenance. It can right away put them back on their feet. Diba? So, and the thing with Yolanda, it became also an avenue for corruption. Diba? It got used by the politicians. Diba? Like our VP put his diba, in the news. There were, even in the social network, there were his sticker, his name was there, and so parang it was also used for personal, ano ba tawag doon, Raffy? Personal gain. That's right, personal gain. So. Ano pa? So, what about the PBN? Are they there? What can they say? So
yeah, the PBN are there. I'm not passionate to them.
Yeah, I can see them. They're on the chat. I think they're tuned in, like Ron and Azrael and Spidey, and I think Ian is there. I'm not sure if Irene, but if Irene's there, hi Irene. So thank you for the PM. So anyway, there. Okay. So there will always be uncertainties. These are, whether it's man-made or acts of God.
I think you just have to prepare. I mean, it happened already before. It's going to happen again. I mean, we're a typhoon season, part of the country, part of the world. So typhoons and hurricanes, if you want to call them, are going to happen to us.
And we belong to the Ring of Fire. Diba?
Your area pretty strong. Are you prepared for it?
That's right. So, man-made or acts of God, it can erode many of the aspects that give meaning to our lives. These are irreplaceable things, like your family when you lose them. I know stories in even as far back as Pablo that the kind of emotional devastation was they saw their families get washed by the water, yung mga ganun.
Right.
And it's something that is actually most likely preventable. Half of it, at least half the battle won, if you are prepared.
Right.
So an amount of preparation, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, as I said, is winning half of the battle. So don't you get to take yourself out of that situation.
And the parents should enroll their kids in Boy Scout and Girl Scout.
Yes, very true. Diba? And speaking, buti na lang, upside though is although I always say happiness not through crisis. So I remember the Rio Boys. The band from Tacloban, the brothers, the Rio brothers.
REO, right.
Yeah, REO brothers, and that was one of the stories that you guys shared on the net, and Ron, I got to hear about it also from Ron. Though it also brings in silver lining, but I always encourage people, do not derive your happiness out of crisis, because there's more happiness from happiness itself. So create more happiness, more success, so that you'll have a happier, well-managed life or situation.
Right.
So yon. So another prediction, Raffy, is that corrupt government officials, appointees, and employees are still going to be around. Diba? So if you look at the newspaper since 1968, it's the same news about corruption that have been haunting our country and our government. So it's still going to be there, and maybe it's going to be there till the end of time for the Philippines, and so for the investors, businesses, and back-breaking, hard-working Pinoys, Raffy. What can we? Like you, diba? You are an entrepreneur, diba? So an entrepreneur, and what tips or advice, or if there are any lessons that you have learned along the way, as far as either ignoring the corruption and staying focused on your goal, diba? Can you share with the listeners and our viewers?
Wow. Okay, that's a touchy topic.
We don't have to name names.
Right. Because Filipinos, by general, we don't want to speak about politics. Okay.
We're not talking about politics. We're talking about corruption.
Even corruption is part of it. I mean, the corruption does start in the political side, government side. Okay. Even the three areas, or what you call that, pillars of government, which is the legislative, executive, and judiciary. There are corruption and graft happening there. But I think we are more, the society right now is, their eyes are more open. I think my belief is that the internet and social media started opening it up. Facebook is predominant to the Filipinos right now. So I believe that prediction-wise will be more open. Will have more information as far as any graft and corruption that's taking place. A good example is the housing that they built for the Yolanda victims.
Yeah, really?
It's so small. Okay, and all of a sudden, TV5 Interaction and all those broadsheets and TV stations started showing it, because it started with one Facebook post. Okay, so I think the engager here is social media. And the graft and corruption will be a little bit smaller, but it'll still be there.
Yeah, smaller in terms of the player.
Yeah.
But the taken is okay. Very, very, very true. The social media is going to be such a big player in terms of exposing, diba? Exposing the corruption and the bribe. Kasi these are, these are personal experiences, or eyewitness accounts, diba? Of those who see graft and corruption right in front of them. So and it's very incidental. It's normally just a very incidental post, but it becomes viral. So I guess the government and those appointees, directors and even employees should really be more careful, or should just stop. Should just stop. Period. So for me,
they'll be more careful to do foolish things, I guess.
So as far as if you're an investor, think of investing in the Philippines. If you are or you're an entrepreneur, or you have businesses, or you're one of those hard-working, tax-paying Pinoy. One of the things that you can do, these are what you can do for as a not just an outlook, but to continue having the attitude to keep reaching for your goals. One, anticipate, be mentally fit. The government, it's really there. If there's corruption and bribery going on in the government, it's really going to be frustrating. It's going to be discouraging. But be mentally fit. Know that accept the facts, but keep moving forward. And also another one, you may not have the stomach for corruption. I don't have the stomach for corruption and bribery. So you may not have the stomach for it, but if you need to get the job done for your business, if you need to engage with them and they will ask, then just take it one day at a time, so that you don't feed so much fear that there's corruption, wag na lang, let's not do the business anymore, like that. So just take it one day at a time, so that you can so that you have the gut, you have the gut to set up to invest here, or to continue with your business. Another one is stay focused on your goals. The corruption, the bribery, if it's ever going to be there, and if ever it's going to affect your pursuits, diba? It's just one of the challenges that you have to surmount. So just stay focused, keep at it. And as I said, Raffy, I wrote this down this morning. I said one positive, if there's corruption and bribery that's still ongoing and it's gonna be there forever, at least there's one certainty that a certain possibility that I can actually say. You know the song of AC/DC? Highway to Hell.
Okay.
So at least that highway to hell is wide open for them. And that there is a God somewhere. So somewhere you're going to be more blessed, diba? So more blessed while they burn in hell. So,
that's right.
Diba? So but in the meantime, do not be discouraged, diba? So
don't be discouraged. I mean, if you set up small company and you hire one or two people, you're giving a job to one or two people.
Exactly, diba? So
Right.
just keep going, and I'm sure that you every effort that you do and will be rewarded, diba? So you can. I know a lot of people who've actually reached their dreams and have actually gone beyond it, and it's pursuing higher goals na. And none of these issues, political issues, have deterred them. So
Right.
yeah.
And buy Filipino.
Yeah, buy Filipino, yes. Buy a Filipina, loko lang.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
Buy Filipino, very true. Here's this is for the social network, or the social, I don't know, the web or internet, the selfie, the sex videos, and the YouTube are definitely, it's one of the prediction, will be prominent all throughout the year and the coming years. So, Raffy, what have you got to say about selfie and sex videos and the YouTube?
Well, sex videos, I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
but we are in the world. We are the top. Well, no, not top. We're the second top video uploaders in the world. We love watching videos. We love reading blogs. We are social media fanatics. We love Facebook. So I don't think that's going to disappear.
Yeah.
Even if you have friends who are not active in Facebook anymore, there's still a lot of people joining, especially with smartphones.
Yeah.
So the access to smartphones last year was not that high, but they're predicting by 2015, 98% of the Filipinos will have smartphones.
Yeah, and
Which means that the phone itself is already the Wi-Fi or internet access device.
Wow, talaga. And now pa nga lang, every time a person looks for a restaurant, or a place to eat at, or coffee shop, they go, do you have Wi-Fi? Diba?
Right.
Because the phone, they can actually use it already.
Right.
So, yeah.
The social media, the social networking is here to stay and it's going to increase. In fact, I've talked to somebody who's in touch with a few politicians. In the last elections, statistically, there were 20% of the voting population was influenced by social media or internet. They're predicting on 2016 it's going to about 70%.
Wow. So that's why the things that they should be, what they can do for 2014 as far as the social media is concerned is, one of the things that I wrote here, you have to use these tools wisely. Diba?
Right.
And you never know how malicious people can use it against you.
Right.
Diba? So you have to use them wisely. So and don't self-sabotage. Don't just, post only anything that can contribute to your welfare and well-being and to the welfare and well-being of others.
Right.
Diba?
Don't rant. Don't rant on
rant,
Facebook.
yeah. Oo, diba? Because you never know who's checking that out. Even the FBI's check your Facebook, diba? So if you're planning to migrate, you better check that.
Right.
So what? All right. So another one is this one is very typical. We always hear this. Money is still going to be elusive. Okay. So we still have going to be peak and throws in our lives. Diba? There are days where there's going to be windfall and days where there's completely not. It's the common situation that we encounter that most Pinoys encounter. So now, but we can't keep saying that money is hard, diba? We've been saying that for the last 5 years or for the last 10 years. Then there must be, and nothing is changing, or we're still the same person. Then there's definitely something that we have not done ourselves. Comment, Raffy.
Okay. I will start with my experience. And go forward to the present and the future. I have lived with my parents before I got married. And when I got married, of course, I lived with my wife. But the thing is, I did not manage my money. When I was living with my parents, my mom managed my money. When I got married, my wife managed my money. When I got separated, it was the first time I was managing my own money. And I sucked. I really did. I did not have savings at all. So the lesson there is that you have to learn personal finance.
Yes, very true.
Even as young as you are, okay, there will come a time, soon or later, that you will live on your own and you will have to manage your money on your own. And when it happens, you can't learn it on that time itself. You have to learn it before that. You have to prepare. So it doesn't matter how much money you're earning. It matters how much you are saving or how you are managing your money.
Yeah, and I was thinking, people are asking, hey, what if I don't have, if I'm only earning, let's say 10,000 a month or 6,000, I'm just a maid, I'm a driver. Actually, when you say how to manage your finances, it means that you can start with just checking if you know how to save. So just set aside 1 peso every day. If you can grow that 1 peso, that means you already have the discipline, diba? And if you have the discipline, that means you can continue that or pursue building your wealth so that you can increase your 1 peso to maybe additional 5 pesos a day or 10 or 20 pesos.
Right.
Diba? So it's we have to, as far as money is concerned, if it's the one that doesn't come pouring in, we have to bring ourselves there. So we have to work hard and work smart, diba? If you have to join a networking company, go ahead. We know of security guards and taong grasa who are actually now earning hundreds of thousands of pesos from nothing. So that means it can be done. And what else?
And joining networking companies is not about just earning money. It's about learning from those who made money.
Yeah, and it also teaches you how to become an entrepreneur and a business person. All the skills, from mindset to soft skills, it's really it's like a school. It's like a training ground.
Right, it's like a school.
So you also have to, as far as money is concerned, you also have to pay and manage your debt. You have to make sure that you free yourself from this cycle. And manage your money every day. If you're not, if you suck in your finances, you have to do, basic accounting, plus and minus, plus and minus, plus and minus, so you know exactly where your money goes. And before you know it, you're already tightening your belt and choosing where to spend your money.
Right.
So there. Okay, last prediction because we're out of time. We will still be complaining about the same things. So if you're complaining about traffic, if you're complaining about not having enough money, if you're complaining about, na masungit your partner is masungit, or if you're complaining, there's so many complaints. You're complaining about household chores or something. We will still complain about it. So, Raffy, what gives? What should they do? Diba? If it's still the same thing, what are the things that they can...
For everything in life, except death and taxes, you are in control.
Yes, exactly.
So if, for example, a little thing like you're stuck in traffic, you are in control of yourself. You don't have to be a complainer. You can switch on the radio, listen to DZRJ or some music and sing along.
Yeah.
Or you can download a voice recording app.
Yeah.
And start brainstorming by yourself in the car while you're stuck in traffic.
Exactly. And most people who complain in traffic are those that do not leave early. Diba? They're the ones rushing. So leave early. Know what you contributed to the situation. Mas umiinit yung ulo nyo kasi, but we normally tend to blame others rather than start looking within ourselves for how we were part of the, be part of the solution, so to speak. So leave early. And then also, enhance them or reinforce them with what your suggestion. Listen to music, listen to diba there are now success tapes, yung mga ganun, what you call that, self-help audio,
right.
Diba yung mga ganun, so, and the ones
Dati cassette, ngayon CD.
yes, yeah, so those things. So if you still find yourself complaining over the same thing, this is what I always say, it's no longer the fault of the other person or of the situation. If it's repeating all the time to you, that means you're the one who keeps repeating it to yourself as well.
You are in control of everything except death and taxes.
Yes. All right, Raffy. So anything else? Because it's already 3 o'clock, and I want to first, of course, say thank you for joining me today and impromptu. But it's very clear, huh? I can hear you loud and clear. So, I want to say thank you. So we're up, and if there's any parting message for everyone, I know you have a WAPINA seminar. Are you still scheduling that on the 25th?
We're scheduling it for January 25, but we're moving it to about February 8th.
Okay.
We're still looking for a place. Might be in Quezon City, or it might be in the south side. But we're trying to schedule every month at least one session for Work at Home Pinas, the seminar.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
right. So for 2014, guys and girls out there listening to us, just take control of your life. Don't let anybody else control it for you. The small things, the big things, you have to control it. And for you to be able to control it, you got to start planning.
Yeah, you got to start today. Yeah. Thank you, Raffy, for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Chinne.
Yeah, I will see you soon, so you take care.
All right.
And get well soon. Yeah. All right. So anyway, time's up. So fundamentally, only the events and the players change in our, but the experiences of its impact will always remain the same. So it's good to be ready and to be prepared for. We've given you already an ideas of things that could happen this 2014. It's no longer an excuse if we find ourselves again in the same occurrence, diba? Just as badly as before. We can find ourselves, in the middle of a flood this year, or maybe in the middle of disaster, but with more, with a little bit of preparation, it's not going to be most likely as bad as last year. We'll be able to move faster and recover faster. Diba? So this is Francine de las Alas, and I'll see you on Monday, by the way, Mr. Ron of Sagabay, Ron Villagonzalo of PBN. He's going to be here with us. He's going to be talking about Sagabay, his company and how he built it, and he's here to inspire us all also. And he's one of the very enthusiastic person that I know and have come to, that I met in the last quarter of 2013. So watch out for him, and is that right? Watch out for him, or just stay tuned on Monday for another episode of Happy Thoughts with Francine de las Alas. So to all the PBN, Ian, Azrael, and Ron and Spidey and Raffy, Pekson, Irene, thank you very much again for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Happy Thoughts, everyone.
You have been listening to Happy